Netflix's Virgin River has become akin to a warm hug on a winter's night. With its small-town charm and unforgettable lineup of characters, it made December all the merrier. According to reports, production on Virgin River's fourth season wrapped up earlier in December, but it probably won't air until mid-2022. And while Netflix hasn't released much official details about the upcoming season, we can always rely on fan theories and sort of predict what's to come. So without further ado, here's a list of all the theories that you as fans should know. In all fairness, we must warn you, this video is going to be filled with major spoilers. Number 1. Could Jack be the father of Mel's baby? Season 3 left us with quite a few cliffhangers for many of the characters, including everyone's favorite Mel and Jack. In the finale, Mel dropped a real bombshell on Jack right before he was about to propose to her. Not only was Mel pregnant, she also revealed that Jack might not be the father after all. That left quite a big question mark on the future of their relationship. Who is the father of Mel's baby? Would Jack be accepting of a child who's not his own? Should we be prepared for a tear-jerking breakup in season 4? Let's see what fan theories have to say about it. The news of Mel expecting was definitely shocking given its timing, but it wasn't a total surprise. In season 3, we saw her considering the idea of starting a family, and when Jack opposes that idea, she's left with no other choice but to reach out to a fertility clinic in Los Angeles, which just so happens to be the clinic where embryos from her previous marriage to Mark were saved. Should we jump to the conclusion that Mel could be carrying Mark's baby? According to the newest theory, there's only one possibility when it comes to the father of Mel's baby, and that is Jack. Although everyone had their fingers crossed for him, but the writers did a pretty good job highlighting that LA trip and the possibility of Mel unfreezing the eggs became more and more likely. However, fans debunked that theory, arguing that the time frame makes it impossible for Mark to be the father. Mel was in LA for only a few days, 3 at best, and statistically speaking, that's not enough time to undergo a procedure and then recovering from it to fly back to Virgin River. And if you really think about it, no one really pops in on a whim and opts for IVF. Here's hoping this fan theory really works out. Number 2. Brady was framed by Bree. While the ending of season 3 left a lot to unpack, and we do mean a lot. However, it is the Brady twist that left fans in a state of shock. Fan theories suggest that the police might have the wrong person. Apart from the fact that Brady has been insisting on his innocence since day one, fans don't think that the writers would make it so simple. Let's look at what we know, shall we? It's pretty clear that Jack knows Brady was at the bar the night of the shooting. This might be a bit of a stretch, but why would the writers reveal such an important piece of evidence if they wanted to surprise the audience with his arrest? It just doesn't sit right. As most of the signs point to Brady's innocence, the burning questions remain. If he didn't shoot Jack, then who did? Which brings us to another jaw-dropping fan theory. Is it possible that the culprit might be someone closer to Jack, his sister Bree? Although her character does not seem capable of pulling such a stunt, that alone doesn't absolve her. We know for a fact that Bree gets startled very easily, which makes her more accident-prone, let's say if caught off guard. And so far, no one's asked for her alibi on the night of the shooting. We still don't know what she was up to. Other than that, if you remember, she's the only person who had access to Brady's car, other than him of course, and she could have easily planted the gun there as Brady took the blame for it all and none would be the wiser. One fan theory suggests that maybe Bree went to the bar to reunite with Jack, brought a gun for protection, and accidentally pulled the trigger on her brother when she walked in on an argument between him, Brady, and whoever was there. As soon as the shot was fired, in addition to the commotion, the scene got extremely dark, making it practically impossible to identify the shooter. Maybe that's why Bree decided to stay in town, not only to make sure Jack was doing okay, but also to frame someone else. That sure would be a dark turn. Number 3. Mike is a bad cop. The end of season 3 gave everyone some serious trust issues. Apart from Bree, theories suggest that there's another person to watch, and that is none other than our good old cop Mike. Despite the fact that he actually helped with the investigation and ultimately found the culprit of Jack's shooting, but the writers could always be misleading us. Maybe the whole good cop routine is just a front. While it's impossible for him to be the shooter considering he was shown at the police department only moments before Jack's confrontation in the bar, it's likely that he knows more that he's letting on, or he could be the one framing Brady. Mike's dislike for Brady has been pretty evident throughout the season. Let's just say it has intensified quite a bit since he and Bree got together. Is jealousy a strong enough motive to turn a good cop bad? Number 4. Preacher's future is linked to Paige's whereabouts. Last we saw Preacher, he was drugged and left for dead in the woods. His fate seemed pretty tight in the finale, but theories suggest otherwise. The entire ordeal Preacher's going through isn't just about him. In fact, it could be linked to Paige, who's been MIA ever since she left her son Christopher under Preacher's care. theories suggest this storyline is more centered around Christopher's custody. While we know that Preacher isn't the legal guardian, he, however, is the only person standing between Vince and Christopher. Now, fans don't accuse Vince for hurting Preacher, but they do think it's possible that he hired someone to get Preacher out of the picture so he could snatch the child from right under his nose. Rest assured, though, that Vince wouldn't hurt Christopher. Theories suggest he might use him as bait to lure Paige out of wherever she is. This is how we'll likely find out about her. Is she dead? Or has she been hiding all along? However, fans are sure that Preacher's cliffhanger is a distraction and not a death sentence. Number 5. Is Lizzie here to stay in Virgin River? We first met Lizzie back in season 2 when she moved in with her Aunt Connie after getting in trouble with her parents. But her place in the small town is questionable after the season 3 finale, where she's blindsided by the news of Ricky joining the Marines. Now we're left with two viable theories for Lizzie's character. Either she could go back to her hometown, which means she'd be leaving the show for good, or she could stay in Virgin River and continue her story without Ricky. Now, fans believe that we'll be seeing Lizzie around in the upcoming season. Even though she had a life before moving to this town, it doesn't seem likely that she'll return to it. The writers spent a good amount of time introducing her storyline and developing her character. In Virgin River, every character has a purpose, and it doesn't seem she's fulfilled hers as of yet. Lizzie's character staying in town opens the doors to many possibilities. Will she wait for Ricky to return from his tenure with the Marines? Or will she move on and strike up a romantic relationship with someone else from the town? Number 6. Are Mel and Jack headed towards a breakup? As much as fans want a happy ever after for Mel and Jack, after the season 3 finale cliffhanger, their future seems pretty turbulent. Fans predict the newly introduced baby drama will put some strain on their relationship. Apart from the glaring question of who the baby's father is, Mel took a secret trip to the fertility clinic. Even if Jack turns out to be the dad, it doesn't change the fact that she hid something from him that has the power to drastically change the future of the relationship. It isn't something to be brushed off lightly, especially when Jack wasn't sure about having kids in the first place. Their relationship has otherwise been perfect, a little too perfect. While they do have their ups and downs, like Jack's ex being pregnant with his twins, or their disagreement when it comes to starting a family, they always seem to come out on the brighter side together. For the most part, they haven't really been through major rock-the-boat obstacles in the previous seasons. It might be a good idea for Mel and Jack fans to prepare for their ship to sink. That wraps up all our fan theories about the upcoming season of Virgin River. According to sources, it most likely will come out by July 2022, so we'll have to wait until then to see how these theories pan out. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.